All right, so I'm going to talk a little bit today about mobile forensics, which is one of the things that we specialize in here at Pace University. And we're going to do a quick exercise that I actually have the students run through. And iPhones are a great source of information, but if I showed an iPhone now, you would see potentially hundreds of thousands, maybe 1 million files on that device. So I'm going to show you very briefly what you can find out with an iPod Touch, which will give you a sense of what you could see on an iPhone. So with an iPod Touch, here's an image that we created previously with a tool called Blacklight. And Blacklight enables you to forensically image the device and then be able to find out what type of device it is and what type of user data is on there. So as you can imagine, this is really important because it will help you to reconstruct the events that occurred leading up to a crime being committed. So the first thing that we can see here with Blacklight is that we can see the type of device that this is. This is an iPod Touch. It's an iPod Touch 4G. We have a serial number associated with this device, which is very helpful because we can then see what computer this device was paired to at some point. We can actually look at the file system on this device and determine also whether the device was initially paired with a personal computer running Windows or whether it was paired with a Mac. So here we have the serial number. We have the time zone, and it's always important for investigators to look and see what the time on the system time on the device was, because if the time doesn't match here with what's being reported by the investigator, then the case could be dismissed, or at least this evidence. So here's a summary about the device. As you go along, a lot of information is being saved that you can put into an investigator's report. But this summary page tells you all the different artifacts that can be found on this device. And as we can see, there are 15 movies, there are 7,500 graphics, we have documents, we have 11 applications running, we have Safari and files associated with Safari, which is good because we want to see a suspect's internet history. We have a list of contacts and we have some events. We can take a look at history here and we can see the last running apps on this device. So if somebody says, I was using this, but during this time I didn't use these different applications or I didn't look at these pictures, you can actually go in and you can see the apps that were last run and when each of these apps ran. So the other great thing about this is that we can look at different media. So with every device out there, it's going to come with thousands and thousands of graphics built in. So if it's a Windows machine, for example, it's going to have the Windows logo and other associated pictures. But here we have all different types of pictures associated with the device, and these actually just come by default. Now what's important for us are the user files, and we can actually screen out all these files that actually come with the device through a technique called hashing. And so in this particular case, one of the things that I ask the students to do is to tell me what kind of crime you think the suspect was involved in. So they do have to go through these different files, and then they come across some of these pictures that were taken with the iTouch. And what's really great about Blacklight is that with certain of these images, they can actually click here, and some of these images will have geotags. A geotag contains geographic information, longitude and latitude, of where a picture was taken. And so you can see the latitude and the longitude and a map, and we could actually go closer into this map and see where these pictures were taken. And then we could build up a map for the jury in a case and show them where the suspect was going based on the photographs they were taking as they were moving along. What's also important is as a suspect moves along with a mobile device, if it's wirelessly enabled, if it's got Wi-Fi enabled, as you walk by every tower, if you have a cell phone, it's pinging that tower and that's being recorded. But also, as you just walk by a Wi-Fi hotspot, even if you don't look to connect to that, it's still being recorded on your device. We can look at messaging and see what messaging services the person was using, and of course what's really important is the internet history. And here we can see that they've been using Safari, and we could look at different websites that they've been visiting. And here's a really interesting one. This is fake mail generator. So somebody was obviously using this device to create a fake email account. We can go onto YouTube and we can type in this URL and we can see what video they were viewing. We can look and we could see if they had email set up on their device, what messages were sent, and we could see some of these contexts. So in this scenario, for example, I tell these people, I ask them and say that the suspect said that he didn't know this guy, Billy Joe Ray. Well, we look at his device and you can see that it's in his contacts. And there are lots more information on here. We can see again what applications have been installed on this device. We can see that this person has been using Skype, and tools like Skype, Viber, WhatsApp are now being used more and more by criminal gangs, organized crime. We can see calendar of events, and we can see that this person was planning to rip off some ATM machines using skimmers, and we can see that this suspect even had this kind of information in their calendar. So that's a brief overview of some of the information that you can get from a mobile device, and I'm Darren Hayes from the Seidenberg School at Pace University.